Hey guys, Cube here. Today it's a new day and a new cube. And last video I showed you guys how to solve, well, actually, the 2x2, the 3x3. Now we're moving on to the 4x4. And then the next after the 4x4 will be the 5x5 tutorial. And then after that, if you guys really want me to show you, I can do Rubik's Magic, which is a pretty fun cube to mess around and play with. So yes, I can do this cube too. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start off. I have all the algorithms that you're gonna need in today's video, so you don't need to worry about that. Yeah. Alright, so we're just gonna go ahead and mix it up randomly. If it isn't already mixed up, go ahead and mix it up now. This is no particular scramble, I'm just randomly mixing around because I didn't pick out a scramble. Okay, so I would say the hardest thing about this cube is the centers, or if not the centers, it's the edge pieces. Other than that, it's the exact same thing as a 3x3. That's why I recommend checking out my video on how to solve the 3x3, and then you guys can have a better understanding on how to solve the 4x4. So the first thing I want to do is get white, because unlike a 3x3, it doesn't actually have center pieces. For example, 3x3 has an actual center piece, but the 4x4 doesn't really. You have to make your own centers. So you have to follow the exact same pattern as the 3x3, or else it's not going to basically work because of the way the rest of the pieces are. So no matter what the top of your cube is, it doesn't matter if it has white on it or not. The top of your cube, from where you're looking at it, is going to be white if you want it to be. It doesn't have to be, but I'm going to choose the top. So the first thing you're going to want to do is basically create the white center. And so we already have a piece up here. I recommend starting on a side that already has a piece, moving that to the top. Like for example, I wouldn't start with this. I'd move to a piece that does and keep that on top. So next thing you're going to want to do is basically just look around your cube and find another piece that has white on it. So since there's only 3 other pieces on it, there should maybe like 3 sides or maybe 2. There's 2 pieces on each. So we have one here, and then one in the back as well. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this one, and we're just going to move it up, and then we have that, and then I'm just going to move this piece up here. So now we have 3, and very last piece is here. So basically if we move this up, we're going to get this pattern. So we don't want to just straight up move it up. I can probably change my lighting here. We don't want to just straight up move it up, or else it's not going to be matched up basically. So if it's in the corner, we're going to go ahead and put this corner here, because look at, now they match up. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do U to move it out of the way so we can bring the piece back. Let me go ahead and fix my lighting here. It's not as bright. Okay, that's a little bit better, I hope. Okay, so now that we have white, we basically need to follow along with the rest of the basically like the color scheme of the 3x3. So after you got white, you're going to go ahead and move the yellow. So we're just going to flip white to the bottom and start working on yellow. If there's a piece up here, great. But if there isn't, like for example with my cube, it doesn't. So what I'm going to do is that now, since there's already one centerpiece mixed, like put together, in order to not mix up that centerpiece, we need to do an extra move. An extra 1 or 2 moves while doing this. So for example, if we bring this up, this yellow piece up, now this is mixed up, right? So we need to bring the yellow piece out of the way so that when we bring it back down, it doesn't go back to the same position. So we're going to move it out of the way, and now we can return our centerpiece back. So now we have that piece. We're just going to go ahead and look at another piece. So there's one here. This is in the top, so if we move it up, look at, now we messed up here. So now we have to move out of the way and bring it back down. Oh nice, we have 2 matched up. This is a great place to show you this thing. So if you have 2 that are together like that, you're just going to go ahead and match them up on the same side like that. So they're here and here. You're just going to go up. We're going to go over twice to move it out of the way and bring it back down so that's matched up and the white is still solved. Okay, so we're just going to start with the piece in front of us. It doesn't really matter. I'm just going to start with green, and this side will be red, this side will be blue, and this side will be orange. So yeah. Alright, so front side is going to be green. Luckily, I got lucky and I already have 2 matched pieces, so I can just bring it up, over twice, back down, and you guys can see white, green, and yellow are still together. So the next piece, we get to keep white on top, is, if we look at our cube, green, red. This is going to be red, and we got really lucky here, man. Alright, so we're just going to bring up 2 pieces here, so we're just going to put this on top, bring up the 2 pieces. In order to not mix anything up, we're going to move it over twice, and bring it back down. Now this piece is down here, and if we just move this piece up, we're going to mix everything up here. So we're just going to turn it and bring it up so that they match up here, and we're going to go ahead and turn to the side and bring it back down. Now we have 3 out of 4, and looks like this very last piece will be on the bottom. If so, what I recommend doing is just bringing the side all the way up to see if it matches up, which it did. If it doesn't, just rotate the bottom piece and then do it again until it matches up, and then move it out of the way and bring this piece down 2 more times. So now, if you've done this correctly, it may have already matched up all the centers or not. And there's only 2 centers left, and since these pieces can't be anywhere else, just like the 5x5 is a little bit more difficult because there's more pieces that these center pieces could be, basically. But with the 4x4, it's pretty easy. So we have this right here, and this, like I said, if we want to match these up, we have to get them in line. We're going to bring it up, U2 prime or U2, doesn't matter, and then back down. That is all the center pieces on the 4x4. See, not the most difficult part of this cube, I would say. I think the most difficult part is just getting all the edge pieces together, because you have to match up every single one of them. You can't just go on solving like a 3x3. You have to match up absolutely every single edge piece 1 by 1. So we're just going to hold it. We're just going to find 2 pieces that match up. I'm just going to start with yellow-red piece, which, oh nice, other yellow-red pieces right here. So you're just going to match them up so they're on either side of each other. So for example, if we're going to go like we did like green and white, we'd have to like, other green whites here, so we'd have to like bring it down so that they're across from each other. But that's not the color I'm going to do. So if they're directly across from each other, you're going to have to do this. You're going to have to do R, F prime, then rotate the cube, and then go R again. Now one of those pieces is here, and the other one's up here. And now what you're going to want to do is you're going to marry them together by putting them together in the exact same spot. So you're going to bring over top to bottom, or top to bottom, or bottom to top, doesn't matter how. But since this one's on top, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Bring it over so that they're matched up. But now when you do that, you have to bring this piece, this matched up piece, out of the way, and then drop it and place in a new piece up here that is, there's no pieces matched up. It's broken apart. And bring it back down, and then put the cube back together. So that basically makes it so that you didn't mess up this edge piece that's now together, but you also didn't mess up any of the center pieces, which is really good as well. So we're going to go ahead and do the next pair. I'm just going to go ahead and do white and red. So we're going to have to find the other white and red piece right here. So one's here and one's here. I'm going to have to match it up. So now again they're across from each other. So we're going to go R, F prime, rotate the cube, R. Now they're across from each other, so we're going to go ahead and match it up. Bring it up, U. But look at this piece is together, so we have to do it one more time to find a piece that isn't. Like that. Bring it down, and return the cube back to normal. Alrighty, we can go ahead and do the next piece. I'm going to go ahead and do yellow and green, which is right here and right here. If they're across from each other on the top, it's the exact same thing. R, F prime, rotate the cube, R. Now they should be, for example, whoops, I actually messed that up. Alright, so now they're across from each other. It's one here and one here. Again, if this one's on top, it's still the exact same thing. So we're going to go ahead and bring it over so that they're matched up. Bring it up. Put in the spot that is broken up. Down. And then fix the cube back to normal. Alright, let's go ahead and do, let's go ahead and do orange and white, which is right here, across from each other. So, R, F prime, rotate the cube R. And on top, so we're going to bring it over so it's matched up. Bring it up, swap it for a piece that's not matched up, down, and return the cube to normal. Okay, go ahead and do yellow and green. I think I already did this piece, so I must have messed it up. So we're going to bring it over, up, over, match with a piece that isn't already matched up, and return it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do red and green. They're across from each other, so I'm going to go R, F prime, rotate cube R, match it up, bring it up, rotate it until I find a piece that is not matched up, like that, down, and return the cube to normal. Basically, you just gotta go ahead and do this for every single edge piece. I'll be back when that is finished. Okay guys, I got every single edge piece matched up. I actually got lucky and didn't have the last edge pairing. So, most likely, you're gonna have two last pieces that you can't match together because there's no other open slots to break it into. So if that does happen, I'll show you what to do right now. Let me go ahead and get it set up. So, I'm getting it set up real quick. So this may be what you have, this may not be. So, you're going to have two edge pieces that aren't matched up or married. And those are the only two pieces. There's no other ones on the cube. They're only two. And they could be across from each other, so like orange, green, white, blue. Or they could be like white, blue, orange, green. And it doesn't matter, well actually it does, if they're across from each other like an X basically, then you're going to have to do the algorithm from before. It's not really an algorithm, but the algorithm basically where you get them unmatched up from each other. You're going to go ahead and do that here, that they're across from each other, and you're going to go ahead and perform this algorithm. When I refer to anything as wide, I mean two of the layers. So this would be R, this would be R wide, U wide, L wide. Same for the primes. So U prime, U wide prime. So D wide prime. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and do D wide, R, F prime, U, R prime, F, D wide prime. And that should have matched up those two last edges. Now, if this is where 3x3 comes in, if you guys don't know how to solve 3x3s, I recommend checking out my video here. But I'll also go through, I will not be going through the 3x3 algorithms on here. Just go watch my other video or find another video on the internet. I don't want this video to take any longer than it does. So, we're going to go ahead and match up the corner pieces. And if you find that when inserting pieces like I did, and it isn't matching up, that is actually because you got the color scheme wrong, like an idiot. So, for example, white, red, it should be, as you guys can see, it goes straight to red to orange, which is not how the color scheme works at all, because the opposite of red is supposed to be orange, not right next to each other. So, I have to fix this, which shouldn't take too long. Like, that was it. Okay, so that was it. Like, I just had to flip the two pieces around, and we can continue with our solve. So now, if we go ahead and try to match these up, they should match up perfectly fine. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and get these all inserted. Okay, so once you have basically the two first layers on a 3x3, it's going to be the first 3 layers, and you may come across some parities while doing the cross. For example, me, I don't have any parities. I can just do the algorithm from 3x3 and match it up perfectly. But you may have one of these algorithms, or one of these parities. You could come across where you have just like one, you only have this, so there's only like, I don't really know how to show it, only that. But, or you could also have this. You could also have this algorithm, or this parity, where there's 3/4 across, is what I call it. So if you have basically only one like this, you're going to go ahead and want to do the algorithm F, U, R, U prime, R prime, F prime, which is a algorithm from 3x3. But if you have the 3/4 algorithm, or cross like me, you're going to want to go ahead and do this algorithm. R wide 2, B2, U2, L wide, U2, R wide prime, U2, R wide, U2, F2, R wide, F2, L wide prime, B2, R wide 2. And now to go ahead and fix the cross. Now we can go ahead and continue to solve our 4x4. I am using beginner's method just to solve the 4x4. Okay. So there could be another parity when doing the last layer. Like me, I did. This side is solved, this side is solved, but this and this side aren't, so these are across from each other. This is one of the parities for the very last layer, and to do this, if you, for example, did have this one, is right middle 2, and that is only the inside layer, right? So right middle 2, U2, right middle 2, U wide 2, right middle 2, U middle 2. And that will go ahead and allow you to do the algorithm, which then you can go ahead and do this and solve the 4x4. But you might have actually gotten a different parity on there, which might look like this. So you might have had a parity where two sides are completed, but two sides next to each other aren't. So you're going to want to go ahead and do this algorithm. R prime, U, R, U prime. Right middle 2, U 2. Right middle 2, U wide 2. Right middle 2, U middle 2. This is the exact same algorithm as the one before, but with extra steps at the very beginning and end. So U, R prime, U prime, R. Which you go ahead and solve your 4x4. Yep. Alright, that is it for today's video. You can officially solve the 4x4 now. That is 2x2, 3x3, 4x4. That is pretty awesome. So, yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want me to go more in depth with different algorithms for 3x3, 4x4, different parity cases, then I will gladly do so. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. Smash that like button. Comment what kind of cube you want me to do next. I have about 1 million. And yeah, smash the subscribe button as well, because I'm almost at 200 subscribers. I'm like 189. I was at 190 yesterday. But yeah, bye. I'll see you guys next time.